What's up, fuckers? Welcome to the first take of Hot Takes and No Breaks. We got some drinks and some topics to go over. Let's just hop right into it and talk about Stancy Pants.
Stancy Pants!
Who the fuck is that guy again?
Oh my god.
Alright. He's the idiot who lit his own car on fire or wired his shitbox wrong and caught fire, started GoFundMe, and scammed all his followers.
So he basically committed insurance fraud.
To an extent, yeah. I would say so.
Sounds about right.
So I guess, what's everyone's thoughts on the situation? What you actually think happened?
You know, I think it's a cool idea. I think that it's different from what anyone else has ever done. But there's also a video that a guy had posted where he interviewed Stancy Pants, and he showed the underside of the car because he does custom fab work for like control arms and stuff like that. And the welds just look like absolute dookie. Absolute garbage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like I guess the car was kind of cool. Like it's different. I don't know if I call it cool, but I can definitely see like most people saying it's an electrical fire or something went wrong. You can definitely see that happening with just the overall build quality of the car.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot going on.
Yeah. In the video of the guy interviewing him, he showed him that inside he has like an ignition switch to start the car itself. Like he wired it straight to the starter, and then he's just got a fucking button on the dash wired into it. So that I was like, oh my god.
I mean, at that point, that's just a fire waiting to happen.
Yeah, because it's always live. Unless you turn it off manually, the button is always live. Like, there's like a kill switch on it. But I don't know. But if you don't turn off the kill switch, it's always going to be live. So it's just cooking the starter.
Like, I mean, isn't that like a common RX-8 issue too with
the
electrical?
The electrical, the starter going out or having bad electrical, and that fuse box. If you look at the actual explosion point, it's right where the fuse box is. That's where he tapped into the actual fuse itself to wire the switch.
Simple take. It's different and not in a good way. It's a piece of shit. The exhaust tips look like they were fucking fabbed by a 9-year-old. I don't know what's going on with the wing. The arrow's atrocious. If you're not tracking it, keep the arrow off of it. And I don't know what's going on with that shift knob I'm looking at right now. But that thing's wild. Like, I just don't understand the whole point of the build. I get it, his whole bios. I build cars that offend people. It's not offensive, it's just an eyesore. Like, when it was white, it was, I'll give it to him, it was a nice stance car.
Yeah.
And then he did too much.
Yeah.
There's an extent to stance cars.
Yeah.
And he took the barrier and then said, fuck the barrier. I'm just going to breach through it, and built an eyesore.
He had like...
That hurts my eyes to look at.
It was what, like negative 35 degrees of camber?
It's negative 32 or negative 33, I think. Either way, it's a lot of camber.
If you have to trailer your car to shows, it's a piece of shit.
So we can do that. There's another thing right there is the stance guys trailering their cars to car events. You obviously feel some type of way about that.
Yeah. Drive your fucking car. Like, I know I'm not really one to talk because my car doesn't get driven too much.
Yeah.
But it's not like your car's unreliable. Well, his is unreliable because his shitty ass welds. I'm sorry, but I don't even know how to weld. His thing looks like a volcano blew up on his control arms.
I mean, it kind of does.
And on his hood. Look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Like, I'm all for custom work and everything, but he didn't have insurance. He was driving on public road for, like, that roller right there. And for reels and stuff, he was driving it on the road,
Yeah.
uninsured.
Yeah.
That's a safety concern. Not only for him, but for other people on the road, especially with those welds.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up the Z-Wing comment on this, because I think I don't think we should go over the whole thing. Like, everyone knows this by now, and everyone can get to this post. But Z-Wing makes a good point here, like, where this car was literally one hydroplane away from literally, like, hitting anything and anyone. Like, you gotta remember, this guy lives in Washington.
Yeah.
It's probably dry, like, 1 month out of the year.
Yeah, total.
July.
And like just thinking like my car in the rain and how sketchy it is, I can only imagine how sketchy that is in the rain. Or like if he even has to move it like around that street corner.
That's
like,
a 20-point turn right there.
It's parked on the street, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because he's static, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Because like.
So at the end of the day, what we learned here is the more you fuck around, the more you find out. And also, we have to ask ourselves the question, when is enough enough? Clearly, nobody told him that advice.
Well, he took stance car to an extreme. He said, "Oh, stance cars are nice. I'm gonna make the world's worst stance car."
I mean,
Imagine dumping that much money into it and it still looks like a piece of shit.
how much was that entire build, though? Does anyone have like a rough estimate?
I think anyone does.
I don't know.
Just based off it alone, though, that body kit's got to cost at least like $5,000. Wheels are probably at least another $5,000. So
That's the thing, is that he custom made that. He made it himself, so he did all the body work, the bondo, and then I think he had it wrapped because it was just white, so he just had it wrapped.
I mean,
so
even then, like.
So go to the white when he had it white, and he had the. Let's see.
I don't even do body work, and I know if you're using Bondo, you're doing it wrong.
So yeah, see, these are the pre-made kits for the RX-8s. So that fit, that was formed in a shop, like molded and stuff like that, fit perfectly. Like that looks better. To me, that's a better wide
Still
body.
a piece of shit. It's a riveted body.
Yes, it is.
Oh, here we go. So this
Not that
this is him building it.
Yeah.
But
So this was before all the aero and all the diffusers and stuff that he added. Like it just looks way better like that.
I think
Like less
this
camber, not as much camber. It's like the perfect amount of camber. The stance is nice. You can still drive it. Like it's static and it's low, but not as low as he had it when it was blue.
and he actually has tire contact.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe like a 195, but it's touching the ground, most of it's touching the ground.
Right.
Still one hydroplane away from taking a family of 5 out.
Absolutely. So right there.
I
the
think
one where
this is like perfect. This is
Lose the wing.
lose the wing. Take some of those stickers off. It would be better.
And I think the biggest thing too is his attitude towards all of it. Like if he was, because his attitude with his build is like, fuck everyone else, I'm gonna do this, and like everyone else is an idiot. Like there's a point where like you can have that like I don't care attitude, like where it's okay, but there's a point where like it's like, okay, now you're just being stupid and you're just being an asshole.
Okay, I'm all about fuck you builds, but this is fuck you. I'm gonna take.
The car wasn't even white originally,
Oh, wow.
so it's gone through 2 color changes. This is his first ever post. Like,
so what you're saying is if I add a shit ton of camber, some shitty welds and aero, and then do some wild exhaust and light my shit on fire, I can get clout. See, look, he's down.
Yeah.
He was at what 120K followers
112,
when the first like news broke out that his shit caught on fire.
No, he was at 102,000 when it first started, and then he climbed.
And now he's lost followers because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if we scroll through this post right here, like, Z-Wing makes his comment, and he kind of touches on everything. And then, like, even Jack came out and said something, right?
I'm sorry, but Jack and all the people that were like, "Oh, this sucks. It's too far." Are you fucking joking?
I also think this is before more like this is. I feel like this is when it initially came out because Z-Wing does have a comment here too.
It was, but how are you that dumb to think that someone went out of their way to bomb a car?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's stanced.
Okay.
Like that's just a like use your brain a little bit.
I mean, it slowly starts getting like the more recent comments, right? Like there's more like here's someone saying about the fuse box, asking about camera
I guess
footage.
You don't follow him, but Omar with Vader Solutions, he posted a whole comment thing on there. I don't think you follow him, so you're probably not going to see the comment for a while. But it's just like, come on. Why are you acting like it was this crazy build?
It's exactly 2 months ago. So 8 weeks is like exactly when he posted this.
It's like, release the footage you claimed that you were going to get from your neighbor and stop being a bitch, essentially.
Yeah, like he's literally disappeared once it happened, but
he did, and there was also the investigator came out and said that there was an accelerated
like accelerant in it or something, and then but then PD said that it was an accident.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different like speculations as to like what happened or something, but the arson detective or whatever came out and said that there was some sort of accelerant in the intake system, but they never say what. Like,
I mean, it's a car. It was probably oil.
The RX-8, they're like fuel or something. I can't remember exactly what I read on it. Something goes back into the intake system, and
it's to it's something like a keep the rotors clean or something, kind of like a
yeah, it's a premix. So there's a premix. You have to put premix in the gas tank, so it's a 2-stroke, or no, I think it's a 4-stroke premix. And then you also have to put premix in the oil itself.
It's like there's bound to be accelerant, but everything leads to him just being a jackass and not knowing how to wire his shit properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jacob nails it right there at the end. Like, no matter what happened, it's just the way that he handles it and the way he's like come about it. That's the part that rubs me the wrongest. Like the GoFundMe, right? Like
bro was out of money. He needed an out. He probably got tired of the car. And, like, look at his fucking bio, dude. I build cars to hurt your feelings. World's only RX-8. Like, you're not different. You threw a body kit, camber, and arrow on it. Like, it's like every other basic stance build. The BRZs do it. Zs do it. Miatas do it.
I mean, it's right here. The Miata's right there, right? Like, it's literally the copy paste, right? It's just mixing the wing. Different. If anything, the Miata's tucking even more than he is.
You're not different. You're not cool. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks to say, but glad the car is gone. I don't have to see that shit at Stanford, Seattle anymore.
So what to you though would make that, like, for him to do it properly to like your standards? What would he have to do to be different, but it makes sense at the same time?
Like still keeping it stance or like proper?
Yeah.
Less camber, lose the arrow, no exhaust. Don't go with that wild wrap and wheel combo. Like that white and like bronze is, I don't know if you call that bronze or gold for the wheels, but just go less camber. Like those wheels were way better than what he had.
This is what I would have said would have been perfect. Like
if he did that, molded body kit, less camber, lose the arrow and exhaust, all the stickers, just do a clean RX-8. After seeing those interior pics, just go with a clean OEM Plus interior, maybe throw some suede in there, and lose the like sad boy clout chaser steering wheel and shift knob. Like just keep it clean, stance it, call it a day.
Yeah, and less stickers. Jesus. Many stickers.
I think this look for a stance, like a Japanese stance car with this big wing, I think it's like kind of fits like the Japanese car scene kind of look with the big wing, right? But yeah, just the stickers, and I think this right here is perfect. Like,
no,
this is what you'd see.
Giveaway to it being a shit box is if it has a Battle Gang sticker on
it. Oh man, he's made a lot of people angry with that one, but
I'm sorry, but if it's Battle Gang, it's already over the top.
I guess we can all agree.
And lose the tow hook. Lose the heart tow hook. You're not going to the track. What's with the hearts? I hate that hearts are a thing and broken hearts on cars. Stop being sad. Like, I'm just ranting at this point, but it's like...
You know, one thing I wonder myself, too, and, like, I know, like, because the thing with me is, like, I might not know jack shit about cars, but one thing I can say is, because he was at Stansports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of all the cars that I saw there, I immediately, like, when I first looked at that, even though I'm not a car enthusiast, I barely know how to fucking remove a car and do the wild shit that these guys do, which I'm not hating on this. Like, I have nothing but respect for the car community that does, like, actual, like, legitimate cool builds, and they're passionate about it. But I looked at his car, and I actually told myself, I was like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, I saw some cool builds and I saw some art ones. I looked at this one and I literally looked at you and I said, what the fuck is that thing? Like, get this abomination out of the top 100.
I have a feeling he didn't build it for him and he built it for the clout.
Yeah, I mean,
that's absolutely
he is following what he says. I build cars to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think he liked the car at that point. I think he just liked the attention the car got.
Oh, yeah. Of course it got hella bitches. Of course. Do you know how many fake ass fucking kids were cornered around that fucking car? Like every 5 seconds.
90,000. I bet you 90% of his followers are under 14 years old,
absolutely.
And they just see bright colors and dumb shit, and are like, follow.
Well, like, look at wait, hold up. Look at like his post interaction, right? Like, because he had 100,000 followers before all this happened. This reel blew up on TikTok. That's why this has so many likes and comments. But like, look, like this one's pretty big, but like everything else is in ratio to how many followers he has. You know, you can't really say how many he has at this time, but like how many people really following him, you know? But like at the same time, how many people like really following him? How many people are just like, oh my god, look at this crazy shit. I'm gonna follow him, and then like never actually like any of his posts or anything.
And you can tell which ones are the bandwagoners and the clout chasers because he jumped up to like 112, 115, and now he's back down to 100.
Yeah,
I think he had something going for him, and then he did too much.
Like this look is so clean, like right here.
Yeah, if it didn't have the wing and stickers, it's just a clean stance to RX-8. It's not like the car was gonna run forever. It's a fucking RX-8.
You know what this guy gives me the vibes? He gives me the vibes of you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. This guy just kind of gives me those vibes.
As soon as he put the gold wheels on was when it started.
His villain arc started.
Yeah, definitely. Cause like this caption, bro. Why do you need to be an asshole to get people to interact with your content?
Does this man even get like any bitches at all, or is it all just cloud chasers that are trying to give him a quick sucky for some attention?
Look at his profile picture. You think he gets any?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got a pick-me girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was to say. His pick-me bitches. How many of those do you think he probably has?
I mean, I'll give it to him. It's the first stance car I've seen that doesn't have clear tails.
But can you really say that about an RX-8 taillights? They're naturally clear. RX-8 taillights naturally are just have a
go to when he had the blue wrap.
This one?
No, like the newest, the bright blue one. He had non-clears, but they were the LEDs.
I mean, they were smoked.
Holy shit! Yeah. It's a miracle. He knows how to use a heat gun.
Might as well give him a hot glue gun at that point.
All right, I think it's time for us to move on. Because we're just gonna keep just hating on this guy. Because
all right, if we rate him, what do we give him out of 10?
Dude, -12. 12,000. Slap as many zeros as you can on it, and it's not even the car that I hate. It's just him as a person, and I think that's saying more.
You know what? -12 would be a nice camber for the car.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know what? Instead of a 0, I'll give him a 1 for doing the shit himself, and that's it. Everything else is just atrocious.
I'm not even gonna give him a number. He doesn't deserve the satisfaction of that. I'm gonna give him a broccoli out of 10 because nobody likes broccoli.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I love broccoli. But anyways, on to the next topic.
The one guy that just likes broccoli.
All right. Stance community. I'm not part of the stance community. I don't think Jacob considers himself part of the stance community. My car is a fucking monster truck.
Not part of the stance community.
Yeah, Hudson's not part of the stance community.
No, God no.
Jacob's building a race car. I'm in a monster truck. Dolphin is the only person here that is remotely
all right
that can talk about this.
Okay, so first off, we all know the stance community. So what's everyone's opinion on the stance community as like right now, as it is right now?
I honestly think the stance guys are some of the chillest guys in the car community because mine is the dickwad with piss yellow wheels, but
It is the most like unoriginal community in cars.
Really?
Whoa, damn.
In my opinion.
How so?
You throw fucking underglow, a crazy wrap, chrome, deep dish wheels and clears.
Boom.
Boom.
You're in a car show.
Yeah, you're in a car show.
Yeah.
Congrats, you got Stance Wars top 100 because you threw clears on your car and fucking threw some race lands on it and just maxed them out.
Jacob's got a point though. I think how far have I scrolled through this? And almost every car here has, except for this M3, has exactly what Jacob said. Like this GTI's got what's going on here?
All right, so that's not even on bags. That's just quote unquote static.
I'm sorry, but if you're static, you better be banging frame.
Yeah, I mean that's the true static. That's
Like-
on bag. I don't really care for the Red Bull wrap, but I like the stance.
Is it even a Red Bull sponsored car?
Okay, that
Probably
Lamborghini
not.
doesn't even look like it's laying frame though.
This thing doesn't
It
even
just-
look modified. It looks stock. Like that's a
just
stock
looks like a-
Performante.
Yeah.
That's just a stock Huracan.
I mean, to be fair, this is an Instagram page that we're on. This is Stance Daily.
That's fair.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
like they kind of just post whatever they get, and no hate on the account or anything, but it's kind of just what people consider stances. It's such a gray area, right?
Look at that. Chrome wheel, chrome deep dish wheel, chrome deep dish wheel. Holy shit, they threw some, what are those? the AL13s or whatever? Is that the wheel company?
I don't know.
They're
Yeah, I think these are
15K for a set of
13s,
wheels.
but like that's a stock Supra. I don't care what anyone
Mhm.
says. That's a stock Supra with the gram lights.
Yeah.
But like I think where it stands is
But that M3 Touring isn't even lower. That's
no,
what, probably on fucking Eibach lowering springs?
it's probably
And they
stock.
call it stance?
They're like $230 springs.
I
no,
think
no, go up. In the top, go up.
yeah, this thing.
That America looking fucking thing?
I think that's an RX-8.
Not the Touring.
Oh, this
That
thing.
right there.
Yeah, it's
That's
an
not-
RX-8.
It's not even a
Gilly-
stance car.
Gilly-
No, but look at the look at what he's done.
It looks shitty.
Well,
Okay, hold up. I think
It's a cool swap.
Yeah.
I think I had a stroke looking
I
at
think
that
something
fucking
else we should
stuff.
do. Hold up, let's try this. Let's just look at the stance hashtag and see what we can find because I think that's a better.
Here's the thing.
representation.
Here's the thing with me that I gotta say too. Even though I'm like not even close really associated with anything stance related, or the stance daily guys, for me, like at least the way that I see these guys, they're about 50-50 for me. Like some of them, like we've met some pretty cool guys, Dalton, and then like we've met some douchebags. Like it's about 50-50 with stance guys.
Yeah.
Okay, look,
Yeah.
that Supra had clear tails. Okay, why are we just looking at parts? Do people just use the hashtag stance when they're selling parts now?
I think that's like where kind of the point though. Like, there's no like fine line between what's considered stance or not, right? Like, someone can look at
Clear
Jacob's.
tails. Deep dish chrome wheels. Deep dish chrome wheels.
Oh, right there.
Chrome wheels. It's like there's no originality anymore. Shit, is that a word?
Originality?
Yes, that's a word,
Yeah,
Jacob.
that's it.
Good job. You took high school
Yeah,
English.
I wasn't the best at it. That's why I'm in the cars now.
Jesus Christ,
Isn't that why
Jacob.
we're all into cars?
Yeah.
I guess that's just me then. All right.
This right here has got to be the most original car that we've seen scrolling through this, and this is DTM inspired, right? Is that what it is? DTM with the aero disc,
Yeah, is that a
190
like
Evo.
Evo clone?
Yeah, it's a 190 Evo. I don't
That's
know.
original.
I think stances, you need to have the taste for it, but it's also like what you consider stance.
Like that E30 LTO kit that's right in the middle there.
Yeah,
That's
one?
an E36.
that's an E36. Clear tails,
Clear tails.
deep dish wheels, crazy wrap, because that's not an OEM color.
Yeah, but if you go to the one right above it,
Oh, this one.
yeah, the LTO kit on an E30.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Some people will argue and say that this isn't like a stance build,
How?
right? Like, it's like what you
Like-
define as stance.
I guess Dalton, you're the stance guy.
Yeah.
Does it have to be banging frame to be considered a stance car?
No, anything stance is like considered not factory ride height. I mean,
So like my car, I'm on BC coils. Would that be considered stance?
yeah, I would consider that stance.
It's like that one diagram that we were talking about one time when, like Jacobs has got that functional stance. Like he can take it out on the track,
Yeah.
do what the heck he wants.
Right.
Dalton's gonna get high sided on the 2 foot on a 2-inch speed bump.
All right. Well, hang on now.
You're gonna be on 3 wheels on a pebble.
This is just a stock Cayman.
It's probably just on lowering springs.
I mean, it looks good, but
That's
it's a
all
Cayman.
new car owners do.
Yeah, they don't. And I get it from a purist standpoint. Like, they don't want to ruin a really expensive car. But yeah, I mean.
But they're switching out the springs at like 200 miles. Just put the fucking coils in. It's not like you can't reverse it.
Right. Yeah.
They're brand new suspension components. You can, if you want to sell the car as stock, you can throw them back in.
Right.
It's not like it's that big a deal.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, I guess what do we all consider as stance? Like, Dalton's
When
just giving
I
his
hear
definition.
stance, I instantly assume either camber or banging frame.
Yeah.
Like this. What is that?
Like, I wouldn't consider my car a stance car because it's on coilovers.
Mm-hmm.
Is it lowered? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hear stance, I think people who are chasing going low.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll agree with Jacob. My idea of like ideal like fitment, because I'm a performance guy, so I'm in the same boat as Jacob. Like something that's not too low. Like I'll tuck tire a little bit, but I guess
go to that Mazda. That Mazda, is it a 3 or a 6? Mazda. That go down. So right above or right below that pink. Yeah, that one. I've always appreciated guys that stance those Mazdas because no one stances those cars.
Oh, I think that's the other thing. When Jacob is talking about originality when it comes to stance cars, everyone does the same damn car.
Yes, yeah. All the BRZs,
S chassis,
a lot of BMWs, a lot of Volkswagens.
It's not even just BMWs though. It's they buy a E36 off Marketplace
and then just slam it. Yeah, they do that.
I like this because this is original. It's a molded wide body kit.
It's still Civic.
It's an Accord, but okay.
Same shit. They all look the same.
All the Honda boys gonna come after you now.
All Hondas look the same now. The TLX or whatever it is looks like the MDX, or was that the SUV? All Acuras and Hondas look the same now.
Holy shit, it's a Washington plate.
You know, speaking of clapped out Honda boys, like, you know, just one thing I want to see, and I know Stance Daily is never going to fucking do this, or just any of them for that general, but just for shits and giggles, I want to see more clapped out Stance, or at least camber Honda Elements.
Oh that's just because you own one.
That's because I own one. I own a piece of shit 2003, baby. Let's go.
So what I'm hearing is that we're slamming and stancing the Elements.
Here's what I found in research. There are no camber 2003 Honda Elements. There's a camber 2004, a 2005, and I think we did see a 2007, and that was all black.
I mean, it's still the same concept.
It is the same concept, but like I've never seen a 2003 of my model with my color. Like never seen that before.
Yeah, but it would be the same thing. It would be the same thing as if a 2003 or a 2004 or 2007 slammed it, because it's the same generation.
Sure, it's the same fucking thing. It's just little tweaks and differences, but just for shits and giggles, I want to see someone fucking camber a 2003 Honda Element. That's just my guilty pleasure.
I don't know. I want to see, like, as much as I'm against stancing cars that are like from factory have a purpose. Like, yes, like an F80 M3. Do they look good stanced? Yeah, but you just took everything away from a car that was meant to rip up back roads and track and everything.
Okay,
same with WRXs, in my opinion. It's meant to be a rally car, and people just butcher them.
Okay, but Jacob, what you said, what about this F80? Like,
it's clean. It's because I don't know too much about stance. I'm still learning about performance bags and stuff, like Dalton's been kind of filling me in on. Are they good? From what I've heard, yes. Would a coilover like
better? Yeah,
it's good more spring rate. With a bag, there's no spring rate. Like, it's just soft and bouncy.
I don't know. This might just be because I'm all about performance and everything. Do stance cars look good? Yes.
Some of them, to a point. You know?
Yeah. My thing is that a race car can be a show car, but a show car can't be a race car.
Stance community is gonna flame you for that one, especially with the
I mean, I agree
F80 guy.
I agree with Jacob. I mean, there's a point where your car is too low. Where I mean, like Jacob said, if you can't drive your car into the show, then why the fuck are you in the show? Like, if it's got to come on a trailer, it doesn't count.
Like all those guys that were complaining because they didn't get into the shows.
Gatlinburg, right?
Like what, Gatlinburg, I think?
Yeah.
Or something. Like, yeah, no shit, your bacon fenders aren't gonna be let in. People have standards for what they pay for a show.
Yeah.
Like going to, what was it, hot import nights and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I was let down. In the Washington car scene, at least in like the Tacoma, Seattle area, it's always the same cars at every show.
Oh boy.
It's like, congrats, you can park your car.
You can get it off a 2-inch curb.
Yeah, do you want a cookie for being able to turn a steering wheel without rubbing?
I think, I mean, my car's on stock right ahead, and I rub as soon as I turn my wheel. I mean, some of the cars on here are like, they have like some pretty valid, like.
I'm not saying the cars aren't nice, it's just.
Oh, see, like this Civic was going so well, but what's up with the rear camber?
The camber? What about the fucking lug nuts?
Like, no, like, I'm ignoring the wheels. Like, it's obviously got a turbocharger in it, right? Giant like, it's got an intercooler in it. But, like,
yeah, boost the car so I can't put the power down.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
just have a clean stock engine bay if you're gonna change shit.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, but like, throw some TEs on this thing, and this thing grips around the track.
Oh.
No TEs.
At least I didn't say RPF ones.
Being a Civic, it would probably be on Teehees.
This is a completely like unrelated question, but like I know Ken Block was a race car person. Like was it rally racing or was it just general? Like,
he was a rally racer.
He was just a fucking driver. And
he started off at rally racing.
A legend, yeah. So did he ever like own like lower like camber cars in his collection, or was it more he was just like straight rally and
I'm pretty sure they were all performance.
Yeah, all functional.
So he never owned like a lower
like
whatever, no.
What was it? The Huna Pegasus or the
Unicorn?
No, it was his Porsche.
The Huna Pegasus.
The Huna Pegasus. That shit, like they're all slammed. Some of them are slammed to the ground, but still clear.
Yeah.
Like the Unicorn's fucking low, and it still didn't rub, and it shredded up the track.
Here it is. This is a video of it being built. Like, this thing is actually insane. The Huna Pegasus is a nuts car, but like Jacob said, like it's got enough suspension travel to take jumps if it needs to, right? Like that thing's fucking low. Like, look at that splitter is probably like the edge of the splitter.
That's for track.
Like look at like look.
Because he did Pikes Peak like runs, if I'm not mistaken. Like everything he did had a purpose, like functional purpose.
I think Hurt Life's FC is also a great example of that. Like this car has quote unquote stance, and it has a specific look to it, but from a drifting standpoint, it does everything that it needs to do. Right, like
does it get sideways and hold angle?
Yeah, and is it really fucking low at the same time? Like this is this is the perfect build in my eyes, right? Like
yeah, but Hurt is all about like he loves drifting, but he loves the stance community too. Yeah, that's why he's got the hot boy wheels, the wide body.
But I think he has the perfect mix of functionality.
And,
and like just random bullshit to make it different, right?
Yeah.
Like the wing does nothing on a drift car, but it's there because it's the style of the car.
Yeah.
But he doesn't go overboard with like. I think Dalton has more camber than he does. I honestly think Dalton, you have more camber than he does.
Yeah, he might have a little bit less just because he's drifting and he has to have the most contact. He's probably got 3 or 4 degrees.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess to sum it up, my opinion on the stance community.
Jacob's just a hater.
The cars are clean sometimes. but there's no originality anymore. They're even in fucking racing. It's just the car scene as a whole. There's no real originality anymore.
Speaking of originality, I just want everyone to know this is coming from the guy with the E82 135i with a single turbo on Apex Arc 8s.
I'm not saying
and BC coils.
It's original, but is it functional?
Is it though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the one day of the month that he drives it, yeah.
It's just, if you got the time and you got the money to do all this shit, switch it up.
Yeah. That's another thing in the car community. Like, a lot of these guys, they don't save, and like they don't want to save. They want it now. They want to be stanced. They want to be hot boy now. Like, everything's now. It's like, why don't you just wait for those nice coilovers? Why don't you just wait for those nice bags? Why don't you just wait for those nice wheels that you actually want instead of buying? And no hate on reps, but they're just not my thing. Like,
I think
if you're gonna hotboy it and be stanced out, ball out. Like, save your money and ball out and do it the right way and do it like, make it look good. Don't half-ass everything and cut corners.
And Junior, if you end up watching this, we love you, but save your money and buy some real wheels.
Yeah, in other words, quit being a financial burden. Your parents already don't like you for that.
Okay, I didn't want to go that far, but
No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen in my life, and ever since Dalton, you introduced me to like the lovely world of cars from like not too long years ago. I've kind of noticed that like it is a very gray area, like you said, Andy. Like you said, I remember, I forgot when you said it, but like you said, it's a very gray area. For me too, it's about like very 50-50 for me. Like, I've seen some really cool builds and some really cool guys that I've met, but there's just those jackass 18-year-olds fresh out of high school. They're all about gimme now, bitch, and they don't want to save their money. And the next thing you know, they're living in some trash rat apartment in the middle of 6th Street in Tacoma, just working at Five Guys.
And I
feel like Starbucks.
And I feel like no matter what kind of build you go for, it's always going to be motorsport inspired, because that's kind of like the pinnacle of like everyone's like car like passion, right? Like, Dalton drives a bag slammed TDI, but you've been talking about wanting an M3 like eventually. Like, you like, it's kind of like, if you take your car and you take away the fact that for you to drive the damn thing, because that's what it's meant to do. The car's meant to be driven. If you take that away from your car, like, what do you have? It's just a hunk of metal.
Yeah.
I want to beat the piss out of my car.
I just want my fucking car to die already. I want it to go into flames so I can claim insurance money.
Stancy Pants Challenge.
Listen, I'm tired of my fucking Honda Element. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's got me from places, but oh my god, man, I need a new fucking car already.
All right,
I'm tired of driving that fucking thing.
You touched it earlier, but I think it's time we go slam it, put some negative 45 degrees camera on it, and go light it on fire.
I mean,
throw some deep dish wheels and clear.
I mean, Dalton, you're
better than Stancy Pants as well.
Yeah, Jesus. Dalton, you're over here fucking influencing me. Like, first you influenced me to buy LED lights for my car, and they work exponentially better. I can actually see shit at night. And now you're over here influencing, well, not really influencing, but I'm just saying fuck it at this point. I'm gonna get Halo headlights just for shits and giggles. See how the city likes it.
Like, I'm all for stancing, and like, that's like what I love. Like, but I'm also diverse. Like, I want to go fast. Like, I want to own cars that can go fast. I love like the way that cars sound. So I'm not limited. And that's another thing in the stance community is everyone's so like
passionate.
Not passionate, but like
single-minded. Like, they don't want to try.
They're dedicated to one brand, but they only like that brand, and they shit on everyone else that has different cars. Like, that's not what the stance community is about. It's like everyone having different cars, different things that they do to it, and just coming together and like enjoying each other's cars. But the community is so toxic now, to the point of like, you can't even make new friends or like talk to anyone without someone saying something negative about your car or someone else's car. And that's not the reason why I got into the stance community, because I don't feel that way. Like, do I feel like some people builds are not the greatest? Yeah, like, there's some cars that I wouldn't do that way, but I still appreciate if they did it correctly and they put time and money into it. Like, I can't hate on that.
I'm tired of respecting all builds.
Okay, that's great.
The ultimate brings up a good point too. I think it gets to a point where like you do what you want to do, but you gotta be able to take feedback. You gotta be able to like, hear what other people are saying, and like, you know, don't just do what makes other people happy. Do what makes you happy. But like to a point, like if you're gonna go be an alcoholic and someone tells you stop being an alcoholic, maybe you should listen to them. You know, like kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, if it affects the drivability and the safety of yourself or other people on the roads, yeah, like, if people are telling you that, you should probably listen to them and not just keep going to the point of, it's gonna blow up, it will fail. It's just a matter of when it will fail.
I think the safety point is the biggest thing. Because
that's not gonna hurt
for me being in a wreck with a car that didn't have traction control in the rain, you know, the safety part's a pretty big thing now.
Yeah.
For me.
Right.
You know what? Just because we brought up safety, I'm going to say it. Stop putting quick releases in your car if you don't have at least a half cage and bucket seats and harnesses.
I think that's a perfect transition for us to go into the next topic that we have. And for this, we only have one picture because I don't want to go through and give any of these guys any fucking clout and look up any of this stuff.
Oh, shit.
The takeover guys.
The geniuses who claim to be a part of the car community.
Yep.
Okay, hold up.
Dropouts from their dad's seed.
I think we can really just all agree they're an abomination to the car community because we don't even claim them.
No.
But they get grouped in with us, and we have to deal with the repercussions with police and venues and stuff because of the shit that they do. And simple as that. We, for some reason, get grouped up with them, even though we have very obviously, like, everyone in the stance scene and the racing scene and the track scene, everyone has obviously been against them, but police, I guess, just aren't on social media and see that, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a bunch of boomers, we expect.
It is easier for them to see, oh, modified car, this guy's an idiot.
Right. And
right,
to the general public, that's all they see. They're like, oh, he's a car guy and it's modified. Yep, I'm just going to classify him with the takeover guys.
Even to be honest, most of the kids that are coming out of these takeovers, and I'm going to keep saying kids because I doubt any of them are above 20 years old when they're going to a takeover. All these guys
absolutely.
have stock cars. They're stock ass cars that came straight off the lot that their mommy and daddy bought them. And all they can do is put their foot down and crank that steering wheel.
You know, I will kind of agree with you on that, but if you look at like the Chicago or Oakland takeovers, it's a bunch of 25-year-old degenerates in VQs and scat packs with a 25% APR.
I knew you were going to say that.
I was going to say, like, if your car has less than 500 horsepower and that is higher than your credit score, just stop.
Not even the horsepower. Their APR percentage is higher than their credit score.
Damn.
But I think what Jacob said too is also a good point. Him just saying like guys in VQs, it's also bad for the people that are in that community. Because one of my closest friends from high school drives a 370Z. It's a Nismo 370Z, and he doesn't do any of that shit. His car's on straight pipes, stock exhaust. The car's completely bone stock. But just because he has a VQ, he's kind of like thrown into that. And I know a guy with a 392 Challenger that he's bagged, he's low, but he's thrown into that because of this takeover stuff. And that's I think that's like the bigger issue, is it's also creating this divide in the car community.
Yeah.
I mean, not really that bad of a thing. I mean, EQs and scat packs and stuff are the scum of the car community.
Yeah, but it makes it hard for that like one or two guys that are like genuinely car people.
I'm yet to meet a guy who owns a 350 or G35 or something who doesn't shoot flames and jack off in the back of a car meet.
Jesus. All right.
Okay, maybe I'll have you meet my buddy Andrew one day.
Oh, God.
I would love to finally meet a Z owner who has more than 4 brain cells.
And he's like a purist. Like there are purist Z owners. Like growing up, I wanted a Nismo 370Z because it's like, it's a track monster, you know. Like, and it's going back to what we said about stand scene. Like, go take your Hellcat and go take it down a drag strip, or take your Z and take it to a track.
Bro, they can't afford that because they're dumping all of it into their monthly payments.
I feel like I think that's
See,
the
that's
point.
paying like $1,500 a month on Hellcats. You're paying my coworker's mortgage.
Yeah.
fucking monthly car payments.
Dude, that's my paycheck to pay for your Hellcat, and you're paying it for like what, 7 years?
Yeah.
Like that?
They're not getting those standard like 3 or 5 year loans.
No.
They're getting those long. I don't even know how you get one that long. That wasn't even an option when I got my car.
Yeah.
I think I also see this starting to happen because every now and then you get this I get a takeover video in my feed for whatever reason. I hate it, but there's like, you can tell that they're like rebuilt titles or salvage title cars, but they're like high end, like I think I saw like an F80 today in like a takeover video, and I've seen like C63 AMGs, or like the one that I sent in a group chat today, the C8 Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gotta be a brand new car, right? Like that's gotta be someone with a credit score, with a down payment or something, that is doing something stupid like that.
Just because you brought up F80s and takeovers, 505 Garage, you guys are a bunch of weirdos. I doubt you're even going to hear this. You're a bunch of pedophiles and idiots. You went to takeovers and talked to minors. Yeah, I hate seeing you at meets. And congrats, you have a rebuilt title, 120,000 mile F80.
That's actually hilarious, because when we were at the Street Garage opening, me, Ivan, and Casey, they rolled up, and there was with the gold M4 that they have, the Yas Marina blue M3, and the whatever the gray is. I don't think it's space gray anymore. I think it's what it's called, but that gray. Two of those cars are on ESRs.
Yeah, it's like
what?
Congrats, you bought a rebuilt title M car to flex on people, and
then you threw ESRs on it.
Yeah, because they spent all their money on the car.
Like, yeah, like I don't get it.
It's on a rebuilt title.
Like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, anyone that first off, don't buy a rebuilt title car. Don't buy a salvage car. Just especially if it's an expensive car.
Salvage title.
I'd rather
go buy a bucket.
If you buy something that's cheap that you can afford and you turn it into something great, that's full respect, right? But if you go buy a salvage title car or a rebuilt title car and you flex it like it's not, like it's something great, you're an idiot. And it's just like M stripes on like a 28i, like a 30i. Like, the people that know will know.
Yeah.
And it just makes you look worse. And the people who care will know, and the people who don't care don't. Like, whatever.
I saw an M badge on a 135i one time, and I was like, it said M135i. And I'm like, please, for the love of God, just take the M badge off, because the only people that care know that you're a poser.
The Canadian 135Is actually come with an M badge, and when my friend bought his car, his, I guess, M135, the first thing he did was take the M badge off. He's like, I gotta take it off. And like, I'm like,
talking about like the motherfuckers in like Louisiana and Carolina and shit, who were like, oh, an M badge on eBay, and just smacked it on with some 3M tape. It's an M135i. No.
You want to know?
It's a 135i. And you smacked a $10 eBay badge on it.
You know what's crazy? You know how my car is like almost close to being a Dynan? There is a eBay seller that sells, I'm assuming they're fake Dynan badges for, I think, $150 each badge.
Or you can just not be a poser and actually own a Dynan BMW.
I think the craziest thing is that people have bought it. I think when I looked at it, it said he had 30, like there was like 30, and like there's only like 2 left. I don't know if that's real or not, but still, like, that's just so stupid. And that's what I think takeover kids are. They're just posers.
All right, are you guys ready for the opinion from the non-car guy?
Oh yeah, sorry, Hudson, I kind of forgot.
God. All right, so I'm actually gonna play devil's advocate and do both the angel and the devil on my shoulder here. So here's my hot take. I get it. Okay, like, I understand. I know it's a bunch of dumb kids who are just want to have some fun and just fuck around with their cars that mommy and daddy just bought them, and we're like, yeah, you can just take this out for a nice little whip, and then they invite the entire fucking city to just come whip around and absolutely cause mayhem. But at the end of the day, and I'm so gonna fucking use the Tacoma Narrows takeover incident as a prime example of this. Here comes the devil too. When you're endangering the fucking safety and the precautions of the city and the people and just like normal everyday people who are just trying to do their fucking lives and their jobs, like, what are you fucking doing with your life? One thing I need to understand, and one thing I'm just trying to better put a concept of, is why you think it's a good idea to take 15 cars block off the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. So people were like, were they backed up for fucking miles because they literally couldn't even, like they couldn't even fucking drive on the bridge because it was shut down for like, what, 40 minutes?
Okay, but I was there that night. It's a Slavic squad.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, not only are you guys fucking stupid, you're dangling off of like a 800-foot fucking bridge where there's just deep fucking ocean. If one of you dipshits hits a fucking guardrail and that shit falls apart, you're dead. You're fucked. And no one's going to give a shit about your name. No one. You're literally going to be a next Life League execution cartel video. You will be.
It's like they haven't seen the video of Galloping Gertie.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like if they watched that, they would not have done that.
No.
And
It's just, it baffles and blows my fucking mind with some of these kids. And again, it's like, yes, I understand what you're trying to do. I know you're just kids trying to have fun. But when you're putting the safety and endangerment of other people that aren't even involved in the event on the line and your own lives and just literally slamming into fucking people with your fucking rear, like, what are you fucking doing, man? Like, you're just causing, and the fucking property damage. Oh my fucking God. What lampposts, street signs, or destroying fucking sewer lines or like the main lines on the ground. Like,
there was a viral video that went around. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a takeover and they hit a post and it came down and literally it looked like it was straight out of like a superhero movie. There was just electricity flying all over. I'll have to find the clip, but it was gnarly. Like, it straight up looked like it was out of a movie, and they CGI'd electricity into it when they hit it.
yeah.
And I guess I see the perspective of kids just wanting to have fun. But I guess another thing would also be the cops are there. All the videos you see, cops are there just with their lights on.
Yeah, because they can't do anything.
They could at least give one person a fucking ticket or arrest one person.
Yeah, but then they would get called racial profiling, and then it's, oh no, now it's the cop's fault.
I think I've seen more tickets being handed out at Cars and Coffee for one car with a slightly loud exhaust than I have at a takeover event. I mean, I've never been in a takeover event, so I don't know if anyone's getting arrested or anything, because they should be. But like, I hear more about like I think all of us in our group are more scared of getting a modified exhaust ticket when we were in Seattle that one night than these guys like whipping it around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just gonna end it here because we're out of time. I think we can all agree. Fuck takeovers and takeovers. Takeovers are stupid. If you're part of takeovers, you should rot in a prison.
That's a valid take.
That is fair.
I think we can all agree on that take. Let's move on to something a little bit kind of on the same page. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this, but street racing 1320 video is probably is just what I have pulled up because everyone knows 1320.
I will go last.
I think let's have Hudson go first.
Okay.
While we look at Sid the Sloth.
God damn, what the fuck is that?
Sid.
It's a starter. It's a starter.
Sid,
It's a
but
starter.
What the fuck is that thing?
It's the Sid the starter.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, go ahead, honey.
Okay. So, okay. Street racing, I mean, I've seen some, like, times, at least not in the Gig Harbor area, but, like, in Tacoma specifically, or even in Bellevue, too. There are times where, like, the organizers and the people that put together, like, they do a decent job, at least making it, like, safe and structured. They let the city know in advance, and the police, like, hey, we're going to have this street racing event. We're not going to be out here too long. We're not going to cause any damage. And it's like, cool. It's a chill time. But for the most part, at least here in Washington, from what I've seen, a lot of the street racing, it's uncontrolled. It's completely blind to any logic or sense of well-being. It's fuck everybody else but my own car, and I'm here for the most clout. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, you're there for the attention. You're there to win a race. Why also endanger the people that you're not even going to let them know in advance? Because I've seen a lot of car accidents, too. People just, mom's coming home from picking up their kid's soccer practice. Boom. And that's it. Like, that soccer mom is dead because they slam into them. Like, I don't understand why basic safety and protocol is not, applied to some street racing in Washington.
You're talking about illegal street racing.
Well, yes.
Because the only legal street racing is on a track.
Yes.
Like a drag strip.
Yes, but I've seen videos of like Bellevue Street racing and like certain areas where they let the city know they're like, hey, we're gonna do this really quick. It's gonna be like an hour, 2 hour long, and then
Well,
we're
that's
just
not
gonna
legal,
leave.
Hudson.
That's not legal.
No.
No.
Any form of
it's still
street
not
racing
legal.
that isn't on a track is illegal.
Okay.
Period. Yeah.
Well, thank you for educating me on that because I had no idea. But I mean, you get the point. It's like at least if you have the decency to let the city know like what you're doing and like you're gonna put the necessary safety protocols. Good on you. But it's also the job of the organizer and the people to at least make sure that there's no one else around, that there's no one fucking around, and that no one's gonna be basically. It's like I don't understand why basic safety is not shown at these types of events, but whatever.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Street racing is fun. Like, I'm not gonna name names as to who does it and who doesn't, but it's fun. Like, either being in the passenger seat and recording like roll racing and stuff like that. Like, that shit's fun as hell. But I'm not gonna lie, when you look over at the speedometer and it's 170, you have a moment of like, oh shit, like if we crash, like that's it. I'm dead. Like we're not coming out of this. Like, so there is a fear factor, but I mean, yeah, like legally, yeah, going on the strip and racing, like that's obviously the smartest thing to do. It's controlled. There's like a fire team there, and so
Walls.
yeah, walls so you don't potentially hurt someone or hurt yourself. It's an area that I don't feel like too many people hate on because most people do it anyways. So it's fun, but in a safe manner.
I think Dalton brings up a good point, and I think I'm just gonna throw myself under the bus. I don't think I've ever driven my car on the street at 100%. At like on an actual street, I've never like pushed my car to a point where I go, oh shit. I don't think I've ever reached that oh shit moment on purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you kind of can draw the line. Like we go out and there are nights and there are some times when we will line it up, but I don't think any of us are ever going at that 110%.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where you draw the line. If you're gonna go and really push the limit of your car all the way to the end, it's gotta be on a racetrack.
Yeah.
Because like Dalton said, like if you crash, it's over. Like there's nothing. There's no going back. My wreck was at 60 miles an hour and I'm still scarred by it.
Yeah.
And if you die, I think at like 170, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because if you like, or like you hear about the drunk drivers that kill someone that live with that what is it, like it kills them. And
sorry, I was just gonna say survivor's remorse.
Yeah, like so like I think there's a limit to it. I don't think I really hate, what was that show on Discovery where it's like they block off a road and these old white dudes come out and they're like garage built Camaros.
It's not Mythbusters. What?
Not Mythbusters.
They're two bald dudes and they block off the area. It's
Like some street outlaws. Street outlaws.
Street outlaws.
I think Street Outlaws is stupid because it's just
absolutely.
a takeover. You're just going in a straight line, but it's a takeover. Like what's the point? And I think in Texas, in Washington, in the South, there's no excuse. I live 5 minutes away from Pacific Raceways, which is a NHRA drag strip. The Ridge is down south in Shelton. That new racetrack's being built up north, right? And I guarantee you, in Texas, the racetracks are even closer together.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. And if you can't afford to take your car on a racetrack, you can't afford to fix your car when you wreck it on the street. So don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can have fun with friends, but like, don't do it to a point where like if something goes wrong, then it's an oh shit moment and something goes really wrong.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's never like, if you've got people with you, like, never go full throttle. Like,
No.
Yeah, I mean, you could kill everyone in the car, and then, like, what happens if you live? Like, you gotta live with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And, like, why would you want to endanger your own friends? Like, that's just, like, stupid. Like, that's irresponsible, and, like, what kind of a friend are you if you're endangering the lives of your own friends?
Yeah, I think so far the three of us have the same point of view, but I want to hear what Jacob says because Jacob definitely has the fastest car out of our friend group. like hands down.
That is Jacob's territory. Is fast.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. He's rubbing his hands.
He's warming up.
I have only ran it at the track.
Of course.
And doing roll racing and everything, I go 100%, but I also know my limits. Like, I've taken Dalton for a ride along before, and if the car ever starts to feel sketchy, or if there's an obstacle in the way, I slow down. There's only been one scenario where that wasn't the case, which was recently. And I just think street racing or going to the track or everything, there's a limit to it. I guess I have been racing before, and I still do race. And I guess I'm more in tune with the racing scene than you guys are. There's a lot of ego in it. Like, stance guys, they get really, really, like they'll gatekeep shit. They'll be like, oh, what's your wheel fitment?
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, factory burn down. But guys who race and shit, their egos are just stroked 24/7. And it's like, they're fastest dude in the town or whatever. When they finally lose or something, it's this whole commotion. And it's like, there's always going to be someone faster. You're never going to be the fastest. There's always going to be someone faster, lower, whatever. I will never go 100% with someone in my car. Like, I will go in a straight line, and then I'll let off. And there's to a point, like, I have done top speed runs to see how fast my car can go. But no one's ever been in the car. But I've gone fast with other people in the car. I'll be honest, I've done dumb shit with other people in the car. I don't anymore. It's just, street racing also requires maturity. I've gone to some races where people are very immature and they will have zero regard for the people around them. And, like, I raced this one guy and we were going quite fast. And there was a car ahead of us. And I was like, okay, I'll maintain my speed because the car's in his lane. And we're getting up to its rear really fucking fast, if we're being honest. I thought, race is done. I'll keep my speed. He'll slow down a little bit and get behind me. And we'll slow down in time or we'll get past the car. He decides to just keep going. And we're going at a very high rate of speed. And I would say he's maybe a foot from my bumper when he changes lanes, if that. Like, he almost pit maneuvers me. I'll just say, we were going about $160, and he almost pit maneuvers me because his ego is too fragile to just let off. Like, I already had him. I had him from the second we went on the third honk. It's just, know your limits. You're not racing for money, so what's there to lose? Like, what, you lost a race?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loses. Everyone wins. In most cases. It's just, know your limits. Don't be a jackass. Be aware of the people around you and in your car. And just be mindful of what you're doing. Have fun. If you want to race, go race. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to stop you. But just be smart about it.
Oh my god, I found a picture of Jacob's build.
God damn it.
It's only on Jax for like 9 months out of the year.
That's a beautiful segue.
Alright, and let's go on. Let's move on. I think we all have pretty mixed feelings about street racing. Jacob's the one that...
Go race, hurt some feelings, get your feelings hurt, lose the ego.
Build it faster, break it, repeat it. Like,
there we go.
And if you still can't beat him, maybe you shouldn't build a VQ and go build a real car, like, you know.
Yeah.
Go buy an Elantra.
No.
This one is just cars in general.
Alright.
I think a good place to start is I guess 3 of us have cars that we're building. But like, what are you guys' car goals? Like what's next for our builds? What do we think about the car community? Where are we going? What's going on? Let's have Hudson go first.
What are you laughing for?
I hear, what are your dreams? What are your goals with your car? Halo headlights. On a fucking 2003 Honda Element. Sorry, go ahead.
I guess I'll just get it off my chest. Recently, fucking hate the car community. I don't want to go to meets. I don't want to go to shows. I don't know. It's just nothing really piques my interest anymore. I don't know. Car scene kind of just isn't my thing anymore. I just want to build my car for me. And cars and coffee, going to big shows anymore. It's just, I guess it might just be the area. I think that might be the main factor, but it's always just the same cars that are there. Like 50, we've got, I'd say maybe 50 big, I guess, what would you call them? Influencers who are just a bunch of fucking clout chasers, Dior M4. And I don't know, it's just not entertaining anymore. I have a lot more fun just interacting with other guys on Instagram. I guess I shouldn't say guys. Just people in general on Instagram, bouncing ideas off each other, gaining inspiration on it, and just building the car for me at this point. Having fun. Like if you look at my post there, I spent so much fucking time on that weight reduction post that it's insane. Like,
is this the one? Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
And you didn't have the wheels at this point, did you?
What?
He's got the apexes right there.
Oh, they're on, but this is when they were rubbing. Like you couldn't even drive the car.
Yeah. They were rubbing a little bit.
A little.
It was just a little scrub.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to build my car for me, meet some people, and go to Cars and Coffee. Meet big meets, shows, and stuff. Just not really my thing anymore. I'll cruise and hang out with the guys, I guess.
I think
that's where I'm at with the car scene now.
I think what Jacob said about the whole Instagram thing is a perfect example, because I came in this, like, you guys are all friends, you guys all knew each other, and I came in this group just because Jacob and I talked on Instagram, and that we had like the same kind of goals with our cars, or like the same kind of ideas. And I don't even know how, like, what, I think you posted a group, like a message or some, like on your story, like, who wants to go racing or something. I replied to it, and I didn't even go out and race.
I think one of our first conversations was that we were gonna start fucking around and supercharging 128, and
that's what we said. That was it.
We were gonna change the N52 game, like the N52 game.
I'm not logged into that account right now, so I can't scroll back through our messages. But yeah, that's 100% what we were gonna do. We were gonna take a 128 and do something stupid with it, and then like badge it as a 135 and go and like piss someone off. And
one of our other conversations was we were going to start selling fucking fuel to people. That never happened. But 90% of fucking conversations with other dudes doesn't actually happen. It's just like, yo, let's fucking do it, dude. And then it's just doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I think I've made more friends through Instagram and like through just naturally meeting people than going to Cars and Coffee and car meets. And I haven't taken my car to a racetrack yet, but I remember that when we first met and I was talking to Dalton about what my car is, and just seeing that he was interested it felt like greater, or like better, and like just the natural, like meeting fellow car people just feels 10 times better than going to some shitty meet at like a mall.
Or like going to a show and being like, oh, what's your Instagram?
Yeah, no. Like, if someone walks up to me and asks me what my Instagram is, as soon as they see my card, they're a fucking clout chaser. No, I'm not following you back.
Yeah, you can follow me. I'm following you back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that follow.
Yeah, like, no, like, follow me because you genuinely like the card. Don't follow me because you want me to follow you back.
I feel way better about, like, I don't need other people's approval, but when I get DMs saying, like, good shit, or like, yo, how did you do this? I'm like, I have no problem sharing how I did it.
How did us following each other even start?
Dating is one of my biggest pet peeves in the car community right now. And it's like, just tell them. Like, I understand some builds, it's like, keep that shit to yourself because there's a lot of copying nowadays. And it's like, if you're doing custom work or you're doing something way different than what the rest of the people do, once it starts catching on, that shit's becoming a trend. It just goes out the window.
Yeah. It does.
I guess we'll do me next because I guess Jacob and I are pretty similar in our view of our car as a car community and like how things work in the car community. I agree with Jacob. I think I went to my first meet in my E92, and my first thought was, oh my god, everyone here is an idiot. Like, no one knows, like no one knew, no one knew anything, but everyone's just talking. Like, I'm like, dude, just shut up and let the guy with the actual car say something. And even when like Ivan, Casey, and I went to Cars and Coffee the other day, there are so many cars and kids there who like don't know what they're talking about, but will just keep like they just think they know so much.
That's another big pet peeve of mine. It's like just ask questions. There's no shame in not knowing.
Yeah, like don't pretend that you know.
I doubt he's gonna listen to this, but he's over in the Eastern Washington area, and his name's N54 Dad. You know who he is, Andy.
Yeah, I know him. He's the greatest resource I've ever had.
He's helped me so much with learning about fueling, and Precision Raceworks is coming out with a new fuel regulator for N54s and stuff. Like, I had no clue about that shit. And I was just bouncing questions off of him back and forth, like, trying to learn. Like, there's no shame in not knowing. That's the whole point of it being a community, is sharing that knowledge with each other.
Yeah, and like don't show up in your clapped car trying to show it off like it's something else. That's the thing that bugs me the most. I'm not gonna name names, but we all know who it is. A kid with 150 something thousand mile line 54 335i. Just shut up. And just listen to what some of the people have to say. Some people that have been in it longer. I'm on my second N54. Jacob's got a single turbo in his car. Like, N54 Dad has this crazy stripped out 335, right? Like, there's always someone that's gonna know more than you. And you sometimes just gotta shut up and you just gotta listen and you just gotta learn. You're not gonna know everything right off the bat, and that's perfectly okay. It's just like street racing. Put your ego to the side and just learn. Like, it's scary, I guess, to some people, but like I feel like I love learning things about my car because I know somewhere out there there's someone that's gonna message me, and it's happened before, asking about something about my car. And I might not know the answer, but at least I know something enough to tell them something. And I know that if I can teach them well enough for them to go and take that information to be useful, that's more satisfying than trying to say that my car is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, and it's funny too, because it's like, I don't know jack shit about cars, but I'm always more than open to learning about anything new about cars. I mean, shit. Dalton's been teaching me a fuck ton about cars. Jacob, you've taught me a couple things. Like, I'm just basically learning off of you guys and just like, I'm basically just trying to keep up. Like, even though I'm never going to get into fucking cars, I'm just trying to keep up so I can at least like somewhat understand what the fuck's going on. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be a closed off bitch and be like, I just because I'm in the car community, like, I don't like want to learn about cars. Like, no, like, I'm open to learn about anything new. And cars are fun to me. Like, they are fascinating to me, even though I'm not a super enthusiast. Again, I own a piece of shit 2003 Honda Element, and you think I'm even involved in the car community? Fuck no. Like, but I'm still open to learning because I want to learn new shit. So teach me.
Yeah, and
make it open, make it perspective. Don't close it off and be a little whiny bitch about it just because you want to gatekeep your fucking car. Yeah. Like it's bullshit.
And I think something actually something else I want to say is that when if I scroll down here, I feel like I always talk about this car just because I love this car, but my TE37s, when I bought those wheels, it was a fitment that no one was running on like an E92, and there were a couple guys that had those wheels, and I would ask them like, how's your fitment, like how do you get them to fit? And all of them are jackasses. They're like, oh, do your research, they'll fit, but you gotta do this and this. And I'm like, dude, I'm just asking a simple question about something that I don't see someone doing, and I want to be different. And I've had other people, even like I think like a month ago, I don't even have the car anymore. The car's wrecked. The wheels are gone. I had a guy message me asking me how I fit those wheels on my car. And was I a jackass him and gate kept it? No, I was honest about him. I'm like, the wheels rubbed. They didn't fit right. But here's what you can do to make them fit. And this is what I did. I just hate the guys that go, oh, do your fucking research. Well, I am. That's why I'm here asking you.
Right.
like that's what pisses me off the most is about the car community is what the fuck, why are you gatekeeping this shit and then getting mad because someone doesn't know something? Like, you're the reason they don't know something because you have that knowledge, you're not willing to share it.
And I understand that some people just don't have the time, like they're working long ass shifts, they got other personal things to like take care of, they can't do as much research as some of us can like in their free time. And that's what we're here for, is like if you shoot me a message, I may not get back to you for 8 hours or 2 days or something. But when I do, I'm gonna make sure it's as in depth as I possibly can.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't know, it's just, I guess my general thing about the car community is stop being a jackass. Just be nice, and you don't have to like everyone's build, but if someone doesn't like your build, don't be a bitch about it either if you don't like someone else's.
Right.
It's just a little hypocritical sometimes. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Respect real builds. Fuck the shitty ones.
Damn, looking back at this, Jacob would have hated my car, my E92. Look at all those stickers. Where is it? Look at all those stickers, baby.
My God, Andy.
Oh God.
Hey, I grew out of the hot boy phase. Okay, I got over those stickers very, very fast.
Yeah.
All right, Dalton.
Yeah, let's. Here we go.
Are we just gonna skip?
Let's get into the hot take of your car.
My car. The shitbox TDI.
God damn it!
All right, starting off. This picture in front of my house.
Yeah, the car community. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. Is like, but I got into cars not that long ago. Like, I wasn't really into cars like in high school and stuff like that. I was, but I wasn't like really serious about it. I wasn't really serious about the car community until after high school, and then I started getting into it, and like this is the first big group like that started on Instagram, and then it actually like happened. Like we were talking about how 90% of the time, like when we talk about stuff, it never happens. Well, I mean, we talked about all hanging out, and it actually happened, and like it's been pretty cool seeing that because it's like the first like car group that I've really like been a part of and felt like we were a group of friends coming together. And yeah, we shit on each other, but it's all for fun. Like we're not actually shitting on the person. Like it's not about that. Like we have a good time, we fuck around, and we help each other. That's like the biggest thing is like the most of the time if someone needs help with something, someone's always willing to come over and help them, and vice versa. So I think that that's pretty cool about it. And like I have a different connection with each person in the group that we're in. Like Jacob and I, for example, like Jacob's into fast cars and street racing and stuff like that, and like I'm into the stance community and stuff. Like we're polar opposites, but we still have an interest in each of those things. Like he's interested in the stance, and I'm interested in like the racing and the fast part of it. And like there's like things that we didn't know about each other's part of the car community that we were in. So like we always like bounce questions off each other or ideas, and so it's more of like a support group in that way because everyone has something different to offer in the group. And so I thought that was pretty cool because you don't see that too often. Everyone shits on each other, and like we don't gatekeep. Like if someone in our group is another stance person, like we help each other and give each other feedback or whatever. If someone's into racing, like that other person gives that person feedback and all that stuff. And like I just hate when people gatekeep because like the same thing that Jacob was saying, like if someone messages me, like I'm gonna answer that and I'm gonna help them. Like if they have an issue with like I don't know, putting camber on the back of their car, like oh how'd you do that, or like how did you make your TDI have camber even though it comes factory with a non-independent rear suspension. It comes with the torsion beam. Like I ran them through of like everything that I did to get it to that point, or like everyone asks all about the Atlas wheels. They're like the most overused fucking wheel in the Volkswagen community. Like yeah, it sucks, but they I don't hate them. Like I think they look good, but yeah, I mean there is no originality with that wheel. So, but yeah, hate that people gatekeep. I hate that people are so like judging of the other person, and it's like, no, like we all come together, like we go to Cars and Coffee. Like some people in this group don't really like going to Cars and Coffee or car meets and stuff, and like I get it, like we see the same thing over and over again, but to me it's not about that. Like to me it's like meeting other people that have the same interests of like our group, and getting to know them. And like the same thing, like when I met you, Andy, for the first time, like I didn't know anything about your car. Like that's why I'm always interested to like learn new things about the other person's car. And so like I asked you a bunch of questions that like I had no idea about, or like, you know, like why you're into that specific chassis or BMWs just in general. And like it was the same thing. Like you asked me about Volkswagens and stance and all that stuff. So it's just cool that like there is people out there. Like it's really rare to find that in the car community, but it's still out there. And that's what I always get excited to see, is like people being positive, bringing each other up, helping each other out, and just getting along, and like just being a group of guys that all share the same interest, because that's really what it's about, is like all of us coming together because we like the same hobby. So that's my take on the car community. Like, yeah, 80% of it's garbage, but there's still that 20% that I hope grows to overcome the clout chasing and like shit boxes and all that stuff.
I just kind of want to piggyback on some of the stuff you said real quick. We started off as just like only real people into cars in our town. Like that, like there's other, like we got a pretty decent old head community.
Yeah.
But like younger people who are into more modifying their cars than restoring and fixing up the cars. Like we started out as just a bunch of dudes who were like, yo, we like cars. And now here we are, shit, almost a year later. And we've just become friends, like genuine friends. It's more than just cars at this point.
Right.
I think the best example of that, and Dalton touched on it slightly, when like anyone's willing to help anyone, is when we fucking me, Jacob, and Dilly laid under my car for what, 6 hours, and all we accomplished was snapping 3 bolts.
Yeah.
And
yeah, was it a shit show? Of course.
I mean, but it was fun. It was
fun.
Literally 6 of us all crammed into Jacob's garage.
And it's just, I guess, I wish more of the car community was like that. And I think the main killer and the reason that it's not more like that was social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think social media is the biggest part of it. I think we've all, I can say like I've been lost in the social media clout for a bit when I had my E92, and I feel like you just gotta like overcome that and like realize, you just gotta think back, like why are you in the car community to begin with?
Because I mean, I have always been into like content creation and stuff. Like, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I guess it's coming out now. I used to make YouTube videos when I was in high school and stuff, and I just liked making videos.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You made YouTube videos of what?
Like gaming and
okay.
shit. Like,
your 360 no scope rooftop kills and Modern Warfare 2?
No, it'd just be like funny moments with my friends.
We'll link the YouTube channel in the description of this first episode.
Oh god.
We don't gotta do that. But
I mean, just look at us now. We're doing the same thing. We're content creating about cars. Like, it's, you know.
Less than a year ago, I didn't give a fuck. I would take random pictures on my fucking shitty ass iPhone in 1080p of my car, not even thinking about it. I had like fucking 50 followers, just a bunch of local guys that I was buddies with. And it's not like crazy growth or anything, but I'm over 1,000 now, and I get DMs daily about like how I do certain things, and that all came from not only like content creation, but also just doing shit to my car that other people weren't doing. Like, majority, don't take this the wrong way, but majority of BMW owners, like N54 owners specifically, is they go fucking full bolt on and then throw an OTS tune on it and think they're hot shit. And then they see like a single turbo setup and they come in their pants. And it's like, I guess it might just be because it's my car and I'm just used to it at this point. But it's nothing that crazy to me. Like, I just put in the money and the time with the help of you guys. I got it done. It's like, it's just a process, and I guess people just kind of need to take a step back and realize that this idea that other people are getting from like these big YouTubers, for example, like Adam LZ and Stradman, DDE, all that shit, like they have a fuck ton of money that this normal person doesn't have. Like, they can build these crazy ass cars in a month, whereas the average Joe who has a normal job and then does cars on the side is, I guess, it's gonna take longer. You just have to understand that. Like, your car's gonna take longer to build than what these YouTubers with way more money, and it's literally their job to build these cars.
Yeah. It's called a project for a reason. It's not a like, it's not an instant kind of thing. And I think we can.
Social media has skewed the minds of like everyone that's on it. Of like, oh, I need it now. I gotta have it now. I gotta have it. No, like, because then it just turns out like garbage. You half-assed it. You cut corners.
And then it catches on fire.
Yeah, you catch it on fire and blow it up. Like, that's not what it's about. Like, have some patience, and like good things come out of people that like wait. Like, that's a real saying, and a lot of people don't care about that and don't want to hear that. And that's really sad, because like I'm all about like, you know, if someone has like what they want to do to their car, like, oh, that's awesome. Like, hell yeah. Like, if you want to bag your car, like you want to make it fast, sure. Like, I'm all about that. Like, do what makes you happy, but don't cut corners. Like that's where it goes into like the safety thing of like, if you cut corners going fast, you're probably going to have some issues and you're probably going to blow it up. Or if you stance it, you're probably going to hurt your car. You're probably going to hurt yourself. Like, you could wreck your car. Like, there's all sorts of factors that go into that. And I just feel like, yeah, like when you see all these YouTubers, like, duh, that's what they do for a living. They've got money. They've got things that can make it happen instantaneously. Like, 95% of the car community does not. Like, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and like, we're a bunch of brokies.
Oh yeah.
We can only do things so fast.
Just kind of circling back, I'll use Adam LZ as another example. He has a full like team of mechanics and people who come in and work on his cars.
Right.
It's just take your time. Like, my car's nowhere near where I want it to be, and fuck, I've had the car for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just slow down, take your time, and build the car how you actually want to build it, and not what you think other people will want.
Right.
Build your car for you.
Right.
All right, I think that's the perfect segue, because we're breaking 137 or not 137 hour and 37 minutes now. It's 1:45 a.m. for anyone's listening.
Do we have time to quickly, speaking of humble beginnings and only 50 followers, do we have time to plug my page?
Yeah, let's do it.
My shit page.
What am I looking up?
We'll make it quick. So L_meatballs 77.
It's EL.
EL, not just L. With a Z.
Meatballs.
Yeah, 77.
That doesn't look like you.
No, that's not 77.
No, not meatball.
No, oh my god. All right, L_meat. Meatballs. There you go. Oh,
okay.
God. So the thing with me is, I lost followers actually. Look,
shit.
go up. I lost followers.
I got you.
Oh, got a new one. So basically with my pages, so not even a year ago. So you can start from the very bottom post and then just work up in the chain. So that was Stance Wars and Leavenworth, or
Sophisticated Euros.
oh, sophisticated, yeah. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is a really cool event. And there's my profile picture. And then you go to the next post, and it's Stance Wars in Bellevue. And it was at this one where I took a shit ton of videos of cars at that event. And in fact, that's where we saw Stancy Pants' car in the top 100. And I literally just looked at my brother. Oh, and spoiler, I guess if you want to say it. Me and Dalton here were brothers, so we were literally just sitting on the couch, and I was just like, "Hey, should I just edit this video really fucking quick?" And he literally Dalton just looked at me in one word. He just said, "Bet." So then you go to the next post, and it's literally my very first edit that I did. And it's the dumbest shit, and it literally only got, 55 likes? Yeah. And
it's
then
not a
you
reel.
go.
It doesn't show how many people have seen it.
And I just kind of want to put in, also, since we were talking about social media and only 55 likes, something I've been seeing a lot recently is like 55 likes thing, that's 55 people like complimenting you. Imagine if that were to happen in person.
There's a lot of people in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of my most recent ones that I did, and that one I actually put just a little too much effort into, because this is the point, you skipped a little too far ahead, but this is where I started actually taking this shit seriously. But, so I started from like 55 likes, and then go down to the one with my car, my Honda Element, yeah, right there with Mount Baker, the other one.
Throw a like up there for you.
Yeah, throw a like up there for me. That one did absolute shit. That one's only now, what is that? 6? No, not even fucking 10 likes. Ouch, that hurts because I put a little bit of effort into that one. Go down to
this one.
with Mount
There it
Baker.
is. There it is.
And that one's 83 likes. I got that, and I was like, oh shit, 83 likes. This is fucking incredible, and my page is slowly growing. Someone put fire emojis as comments on my post, and I was like, wow, that's incredible. And then you go to my very next post. Boom! 1,600 likes. This one blew the fuck up out of nowhere. And I literally put no fucking effort into this video. I ripped this off from somebody else's clip, and then I put one of our friends.
Then it's Dilly Scoob.
Yeah, with his fucking shotgun exhaust. And so when that happened, I literally texted Dalton. I was like, bro, 1,000 likes. And Dalton just went, nice. That's it. And then it was after that point where I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to start taking this seriously. And then, like, because at first I was just fucking around and doing this for shits and giggles. And then I realized, oh, this can actually reach to a mass amount of people. And I'm doing a pretty good job of reaching to an audience. So, and then you go to my most recent one, and I put a decent amount of effort into that one. And that one's at 2,049 likes. Yeah, unfortunately, this one's fucking rotate. You gotta go fucking horizontal with that shit. But
if you're watching, just like
yeah, give yourself fucking owl vision and just fucking snap your fucking neck.
I know you guys can't see me, but I literally just reached up to try to turn my monitor, and then realized there's no point in me doing this.
Yeah, and that one I put a decent amount of effort into, and that one now is at 2,049 likes, and I was very happy about that. And yeah, so. I'm still working on more edits right now. I just haven't had the time to do it because of school and work. I'm currently attending college right now, and I've literally had no time to sit down and even work on this shit. Plus, I want to upgrade from the phone apps, the editing apps on our phone, because it's shit. It's dog shit. CapCut is shit. Like the other ones I use are dog shit, and then especially Instagram, they fuck up your quality and they make everything absolute doo-doo water. So,
it's the worst.
So I'm gonna upgrade to PC editing software like Adobe Premiere, and then just go from there and see what I can do with that. So, and then yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, go give Hudson a follow. If anyone's watching and listening, let's go give him a follow. Let's try to get him to 50 followers.
Yeah. Can we get to 50 followers by the end of this week? Just remember, each follow and like that you give me. This goes into my Honda, shorty. I'm gonna go put this in my Honda.
All right, I think we're at.
In the arms.
I'm with the animal rescue videos. Every donation you give goes into my Honda.
All right, we're at 1 hour and 43 minutes.
All right, car of the week goes to Whoa F30, aka Jake.
All right, here I'll read the description that he sent us. So. It is a 2013 Active Hybrid 3. It is one of 5,103 ever brought to US. And in 2013, it is roughly one of 1,092 manufactured Alpine White with beige interior. I love beige interior. I love colored interiors now that I have a colored interior. So that
Okay,
is
but yours is chocolate, like, or
mine
peanut butter.
mine's saddle brown. So
Yes, this is just the beige tan interior.
I think you can see it right there. You can see his visor. It's beige, and it's like I think the BMW beige is like if you imagined. Oh man, this is gonna be really bad in how to describe it. But if you took a cup of water and like rinsed your paintbrushes in it, right, with like a ton of different colors, it kind of turns into like that really, really light brown. That's kind of the color that BMW beige interior is, and it's gorgeous, especially in Alpine white. I wish Jake had a picture of his interior on this because I haven't seen it in person, but I bet it looks amazing with the Alpine white.
I think the only time you're probably going to see it is if you go to Leavenworth this year.
Yeah, I think. I can't zoom in on that, but like, if you ever see it in person, it's amazing. We'll continue the description. So, Active Hybrid 3, BMW's newer EV prototypes, was made available to the public in this generation. So it's like super low production numbers, and this paved the way for the Hybrid 5 and 7. So it's a 5 Series or 7 Series with also the hybrid motor. He says here that his hybrid has some tasteful modifications that are complete opposite of what BMW's emissions planned for. The sports car with the iconic N55 inline 6 with a single turbo, he has it tuned at 18 psi utilizing Pro Tuning Freak's ECU flash. He just says performance modifications included are a ER 2-piece charge pipe, AEM cold air intake, some exhaust work, which is him cutting the cats and removing all exhaust restrictions, totaling to 400 wheel horsepower for an N55 on the dyno. Now, Jacob and I both own N54s, and we know that 400 wheel for an N55 is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's real. Like, he does have an OTS tune on it, but he did get it dynoed, and it actually, like, those are real numbers.
I stock turbo too. Stock turbo N55 with 400 wheel. That's actually impressive.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the exterior of the car. So he's riding on Rotiform BUC-Ms in anthracite gray, running Forcium Hexa R Summer Sport tires. It's not a brand that I'm familiar with, but he's running a square setup, 19 by 8.5, 45 positive offset, and he's on Airlift Performance 3P air ride with a 5-gallon tank and 444cc compressor. He has tons of carbon fiber, I think. I can't tell if that lip's carbon fiber.
Yeah, the lip's
carbon fiber. It's carbon. Hell yeah. Custom carbon roof wrap, PSM rear kick style spoiler, 3-piece carbon lip from Buddy Club Racing, and matte carbon canards, and I also see carbon mirror caps on there that he didn't include. He says it's a pile of shit. I think the car is fucking sick.
Yeah, I've always liked that. Like, I think that the F30 chassis is a pretty stylish car. Like, I like the front end. It's super aggressive. And I just like what he's done with it. Like BMWs, like big body BMWs like that on the ground, they always look.
And I think I love that it's a hybrid.
Yeah,
it's you hear a lot about N54 versus N55 versus B58 versus all this shit about the motor, and I love that Jake went and he slammed it in. Like, it's like the rarest 3 Series from the factory, you know.
Yeah.
In 2013 being one of 1,000 in the US with this color combo, and he has it on the ground. I mean, he's on bags, but that's sick.
Yeah. I mean, like, when's the last time that have you ever seen anyone with an active hybrid that has done what he's done?
Yeah, no.
The only other time I've seen an active hybrid BMW was a 5 Series.
I've only ever seen one in person because it was at the same dealership that I bought my car from. I didn't even see it move. It was just sitting there. And I love that he's non-M Sport. Like, getting an M Sport F30 is the easiest thing in the world. They freaking put M Sport on like 328i's. And I love that he kept the non-M Sport bumpers and he's made it look good.
Alright, here's where I'm going to disagree though. I like everything about Jake's car. I like that he was able to make 400 wheel horsepower. Keep in mind, that's on pump on an N55.
That's actually nuts.
There's just a couple things that I'm not a big fan of personally. It's nothing against Jake's car. I'm just not a fog light person. Like Dalton, I like your yellow fogs.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, BMW's not a fan of them with fog lights. I don't like the 5 Series with fog lights, like the F10. I mean, I'm not a F10 fan in general. I think they just look goofy. Sorry, Ivan.
Jesus.
And then another thing is I'm not a carbon fiber wrap fan. The roof and the fog lights are the only two things I don't like about the car, besides maybe the banner. Besides that, I like everything about the car. I like that it's bagged. I like the wheels. I like that he made that much power on N55 on pump. But the fake carbon roof wrap, I have heard the story. I can't blame him. He got it, I think, for free from a friend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I was offered that, why the fuck not?
Right.
But I wouldn't pay for it, but if I was offered it, of course.
Right.
I think I agree with Jacob on the roof wrap there.
So, but besides that, I've met Jake. I've got some runs in with Jake. The car's sick, looks sick, sounds sick. The fact that it's a hybrid on top of that, like, you just never see that shit.
Yeah.
Bro,
So-
he gets. It says here that he's running 18 psi of boost, but he's probably getting like what at the same time, like 25 miles to the gallon on that.
Yeah, when his foot's not in it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then
What's in it?
Yeah.
and I want to say this because I feel like Forza and a lot of games have kind of saturated what horsepower really means. 400 horsepower on the street it's plenty, especially with Jake's car being a hybrid with the instant torque. Like this I'm pretty sure it moves.
Yeah.
I'm a little curious to see that dyno chart and see the torque curve on it.
I want to see it too. And
he has it. It's archived, but he has it.
And I know I was against this earlier, but I would like to line up my car against Jake when I am full bolt on and see how that ends up.
That would be more of like a fair match, because when he ran Jacob was twin turbo with his peers. Like, of course Jacob's gonna win. Like, it's twin turbo and it's upgraded turbos. Like,
yeah, I want to see what an active hybrid N55, because that's the problem. The N55, it doesn't have low and mid range torque, and that the hybrid kind of solves that issue. And I think that'd be cool. Maybe we'll run it on the way to Leavenworth. Maybe we'll do like a quick little poll or something.
Yeah.
The car would probably shit itself, but I would want to see it on E.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be a fun couple of runs before it blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I do like out reflectors.
I like the blacked out reflectors.
I
like
really well.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a different wheel setup here than what he sent in the description, right?
Yeah, so those are his, how do you pronounce those?
Autohans.
Autohans, yeah. That was his first setup that he had.
I
like those. He did not like those wheels, but I actually did not mind those. Like, it fit the car very well.
I think the deep dish looks a little bit better than the BUCMs. The only thing for me, and Jake, if you end up watching this, no hate, I love the car. I think his wheel setup's a little safe, like his wheel fitment. 19 by 8.5 plus 45 on an F30 is very like cookie cutter, but I mean, I get it. You know, it's on bags and he wants to be low, so that's probably why he went with that. But I'm a guy that will try to push the boundaries of what will fit in a fender.
Yeah, I know that setup had issues with, actually, sorry Jake, I'm gonna say it, but he did spin the bag on the front right, if I recall, quite a few times, because the wheels were too wide and he didn't have enough stretch on the tires.
See, like, yeah, but like that makes sense. It's like I said, no hate. The car's amazing.
Yeah.
I think you deserve more than 19 likes on this picture. This is actually pretty sick, and it's in Leavenworth, so we'll be here in June.
Yep.
And if he's watching, I'm excited to see this car in person. I'm excited to hear this car in person.
Yeah, I hope that he still has the same setup, because he is trying to get rid of the bags and the wheels.
Is he trying to get rid of the Autohans or the roadies?
The roadies.
Damn, because if he's trying to get rid of these Autohans, man, I'm there. I'm at his front door with money.
Yeah, no, he sold those a while ago.
And Jacob's gonna hate me for saying this, but I love the bronze wheels.
Yeah, it fit the car very well.
I like bronze wheels. I didn't like them on my car.
Yeah.
I currently don't like them on my car anymore.
I think bronze has a very strict color scheme that it works with.
Bronze on white and bronze on black, I think that's it.
Sedona red was not it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people said they liked it, but I just thought that it was, for me, it was too, like in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'm at that point with my car too. It was cool for the first month, and then it's like, oh my god, there's so many colors.
Yeah, because now you threw yellow in the mix.
There's carbon,
You got yellow, carbon, dark blue,
brown
saddle
seats,
brown,
and then just wait till I put my steering wheel in with the red stripe. God, man, maybe it's Harlequin 335.
Oh my god.
All right, well, I'm gonna give this thing a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I also give it a 9. The only reason that I don't give it a 10 is because I'm butthurt that he's selling his setup. So,
Man,
I know Jake's going to listen to this. So, Jake, you're an idiot. You need to keep that setup. I don't know why you're getting rid of the wheels and bags. It's a good combo. And, like, your car just looks really good on the ground, like how it is.
please, 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 please keep it. This is coming from a performance guy that wants to take his 3 Series around a track. Please keep it. It's so sick. And if you ever want to pitch towards a carbon fiber roof, I'll help you find one, so we can get rid of that wrap.
That's just really what's knocking it for me is the fog lights and the wrap. But besides that, everything's fucking mint. I did like the Autohans a little bit better than the roadies.
Yeah.
But the roadies still look good.
So you're still staying on an 8?
Still sitting on an 8. I mean, if we're being honest, the roadies kind of look like Alpina wheels.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That might have been what he was going for, too. I don't know.
All right. Well, I give this a solid 5. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, looking at it from first glance, like if you show me this at any car event, like if I go with you and like we pull up there and I see like I didn't even know that this was Jake in this, and like this thing pulls up and I first glance, just at first glance. Yeah, I mean a little nut would pinch out of my hole, I'd be like, ooh, hell, what's up, baby? But no, I mean it's a very solid build, and I mean I like the way it looks, the color, the design. I mean it definitely looks very aggressive, at least just from the front look in general. I don't know what its ass looks like, but I imagine the ass looks pretty good too. Oh wait, can we get
that's the best we got.
Yeah, little side ass. I like that. I like me some side ass. But I mean, no, I mean it looks pretty good. I mean overall the wheels are pretty good. The rimming is decent. I mean, what are the rims? Are they? They're not chrome, are they? Like what are the rims?
Anthracite. He said there are. Where is it? There's an actual color here. Anthracite gray.
He's talking about the Autohans.
Oh.
The Autohans, I think, have a brushed lip and a bronze face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, it's a very, very good fucking design. I mean, if I were to this is just coming from a non-car guy too. If I'm actually to give this like a legit solid rating, I mean, I would probably give this like a solid 8.5 or a 9 easily. It's a really good build. The only thing I would ask and suggest is, hood stack.
Oh,
God damn it.
Slam that shit. Hood stock that bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess one more thing, just out of my own curiosity, wasn't he having battery issues?
Yeah, when he tuned it and he deleted, when he went straight piped, he was having the hybrid issues, so he couldn't activate the hybrid, so he was stuck in sport mode, so he wasn't able to use it. He might still have that issue. I'm not sure.
I wonder how the anti-lag's doing.
Yeah.
I was like,
how is the anti-lag doing, Jake?
Maybe the next episode we find a way to get him on the show and give him to talk about this.
Yeah.
And just give us like a quick 10-minute, just a 10-minute segment, and then just to see, just a little check in.
He knows better to do it this time. I'm sure he'd be willing to jump on here.
Oh man! All right. Well, with that, in 5 seconds we're gonna hit the 2-hour mark. I think this went a little bit longer than we wanted it to.
It is officially 2:06 in the morning our time.
Well, technically, yeah. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Damn.
That was a good first podcast.
Yeah, it's a good first episode.
Yeah.
A bit sloppy, but I mean, first time doing this.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's only going to go up from here. We're only going to improve and go up from here. Once I get us decent microphones and we get decent equipment, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, and then we'll figure it. I mean, I think it's a good start. We'll just cut it here. Anybody want to say anything before we end it?
No, not really. I think we kind of covered all of our bases. If you, for whatever fucking reason, made it through the 2 hours of this shit,
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats.
Listening to 4 dipshits talk about cars.
Yeah.
3.5 dipshits talk about cars.
Props for having the willpower to bear with us. And guess we'll see you fuckers in the next one.
Yeah.
One last message for the people. Smoke gas, eat ass,
God.
and drink wine.
And weld your fucking control arms properly.
Yeah.